find that out. So when we do look sideways, that the shadow isn't too bad.
Oh,
but I don't want to light the brick wall too much.
Right.
Because I want that to still be.
You want us to get focus, yeah.
It's the people who are focused, and yeah, you're wearing white, so it helps. But
yeah, but usually it does this stupid countdown timer. What is going on?
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Timer now. It says like 2 minutes 55 seconds.
Holy crapola! The timer actually started. I can just trust that the timer is going to work. Okay, so we'll just wait for the timer.
Mitch, if he has a stream scheduled on Facebook, can he start his stream on OBS without it actually going live?
yes, he could, because Facebook won't start actually showing the stream until it goes live.
Okay.
That's
but
right.
you are still recording, so.
Does YouTube do the same thing?
No, YouTube's instant, just like
yeah, but OBS, you can put it into studio mode. And then what happens in studio mode is that
yes, but studio mode is different than.
well, I can see what's happening is what I mean.
Studio mode you use to prep your scenes ahead of time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't. No, I didn't do it.
Megan, you're kind of hidden.
Sweet.
Oh, I'm not blocking you.
This is a huge floating light live. There's so much going on right now.
Oh.
Can't even take it.
That's really good.
Not like with volume, I thought it was like a button
Oh.
on top and a button below. So like,
Yeah, I had to like push
pressing it,
around to
like-
find them.
I'm like, oh, I want
Have
to
you
try
filled
lights
those?
off.
Yeah, this is my third time here actually. How many times have you done it?
You guys gonna give what's going on here? What's happening?
But is that the first one you ordered?
Yeah.
How much time do I have?
I kind of.
1:15.
Yeah.
10.
The thing is, you always need to make sure you know.
I should
Right over
remember.
there.
That's
Your
like
water bottle and your towel.
Oh, what's the difference?
nothing. The one I had and the one you had are different.
Yeah, I never remember that.
Mine had like stars on the ceiling. Yours didn't. Haha. Just kidding.
I went lights off, and since I'm so small, I kind of like floated around. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go lights off.
You guys
So I'm
just
trying
need to let me know when I'm supposed to go live.
That's not fun.
All right, countdown 45 seconds here.
You guys can just give me like a 10-second countdown.
Like
Where did
that.
Mitch go? Is he just gonna
Went
leave?
to the bathroom.
Mitch just left. That's
Oh,
great.
Nasty.
That's nice, Mitch. Nice to just leave, Mitch.
Like, whoa. Should get out of here.
Yeah, let's do the nasty stuff. Wait, what's our back to the day gonna be?
Dang it.
I don't know. Come up with interesting stuff. We need to make this stream super fascinating.
No,
If you get the salt in your eyes, it's very hard to find the towel
yeah.
when the lights are off.
You have to get out. If,
Don't say
like,
bad stuff.
Kidding.
Never like scratch your face. Like,
No, seriously, it doesn't hurt when you. It hurts terribly. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Also, guys, on my lips, and also I'm like,
Oh, if you don't your
6,
face, it's.
5,
Oh, here we go.
4,
3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to the Floating Light Live Show. This is August. I can't remember the date. What's the date?
21st, I
21st.
believe.
Almost said no, it's
22nd.
22nd, apologies.
Okay, so I was corrected there. So August 22nd. And today we articulate, disseminate, and postulate the post-flow glow as always. And today we're also joined by a special guest, superstar, super actor, Max Helm.
Oh, please. Thank you for having me, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
Great
my
pleasure.
friend.
and
You're
honor.
welcome. And we also have two special guests, but you can't see them right now. But we'll see you in just a moment. And enjoy the show.
Cue cam pause.
This is just like a minute 32 seconds where we just kind of keep our composure for a moment. It's a really long intro. It's not, I know you're not supposed to have long intros, but it saves us
It's a
from
good
blowing
feeling.
up the feed, dude.
Oh, really?
Somebody
Name
A fat? Name a fat?
it. Name it.
What are you talking about? Hello, hello. We got Penny and Ray watching. Oh, we lost some people. I didn't really market this one all that
Yeah,
well.
you're back.
So this was more. I'm actually streaming on 5 different platforms today, which is awesome. Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope.
Welcome to the Floatlight Cabin. Your session is about to begin. Please take this time to adjust the settings of your float. At any time, use the light button to switch on or off lighting, and use the music button to cycle through the volume or turn it off completely. Now find a comfortable position, relax, free your mind, and let the journey begin.
Hopefully we get some likes.
So, welcome everybody to the Floating Light Live. Today we're joined by Mitch, who's actually cut off the scene right now. I'll fix that.
Oh, yes. You want to move over?
Max. Max, introduce yourself, my friend.
Hello. My name is Max Helm. I'm sort of new to the Appleton area. I've been living in Chicago the last few years, working as an actor there. So it's a great privilege to be here with the Floatlight crew and sort of experience this great pleasure that we're all doing together.
Thank you. And, of course, Megan. And as you guys know, Mr. Jaden, he just can't get enough of us here at Floatlight. And then we're joined by Jaden's cousin. Jaden, why don't you introduce your cousin?
This is Hudson.
Let me fix the camera.
Apparently it's not. Okay.
That's those novels. Look at the. Yeah. Hi.
It's okay. I can just lean in, you know.
So what do we got? All right, Mitch, you're still in. Okay, got it. So today, guys, we're actually streaming on 5 different platforms. We got Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and wait, did I miss one? YouTube, Periscope, Mixer. Yeah, there we go.
Very good.
So we're just kind of we've just advanced the stream a little bit, just kind of get a larger reach, worldwide reach also, because you know what? We talk about some cool things here on Floating Light Live, so why not? Also, if you guys didn't notice, we actually put out a post on today's Facebook, you guys, if you can photobomb this set. And we're right in front Floatlight here, so seriously, if you guys photobomb us, you can walk right through the front door if you want.
Oh.
Wait a minute, look at this one.
Oh. She didn't get the cue, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys can manage to what is it called? Video bomb? You guys get a float. So come downtown.
Yes.
You can try to be on camera for 2 seconds in the window behind us. So there you go. Seriously, you want to float? You better make it down here. The stream only lasts so long. All right. So I guess we'll start with Max. How was your float, my friend?
It was very good. I would say that sort of feels like a weight's been lifted. I think. I think the idea for floating, I think, is for example, for me, like I know everybody has sort of sensory overload in the sense that every day you're kind of subjected to all these sort of different senses. Like you see so many things, you hear so many things, you picture so many things, and to just sort of remove all of that, and when you're left with nothing and your mind just sort of blank, you're really just left with your thoughts. And I think that that's kind of when you really kind of experience yourself and sort of get to be able to enjoy really being alone without the pressure of having all of these different senses sort of weighing you down. I think for me, because I've been working at. Oh wow, somebody's here.
Okay, she's been standing out there for like the last 10 minutes.
Really?
I kid you not. Yes.
Patty, you want to float?
I
here.
Oh wow. We should be getting that on.
I already went to talk to her. I already told her.
Oh, so she's actually in?
Yes. She knows.
Oh, that's cool. So guys, look at this. I can't even tell you, like, Penny is actually outside right now. And her puppy dog. Hi. I think that's definitely a video bomb right there.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'd say that wins.
So there you go. Penny gets a float. She must have planned this one out, but I think
she hurried down here, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She did.
That's perfect. It gives you the opportunity to walk your dog.
Oh, I see people are pulling up. You know, it's free.
It's probably Steve.
lot.
So
Yeah,
this is
that's
awesome.
probably
Yeah, that's not his car. It's okay.
Okay, so anyway, guys, we actually did. We got.
Pretty good.
Oh my gosh. Good call, Ray. That was a good one. All right, so I was actually working on fixing the camera. That was an exciting moment.
Wow, we're getting some likes.
Yeah, so we actually got Mitch, the professional gaffer. He actually did our light setup today, which is pretty awesome.
Hey, way to go, Mitch.
Good job, Mitch.
Light meters are very important.
Okay, I don't know how Mitch did it, but he managed to put himself in the frame really nicely. But he's cutting off.
He's still there.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so anyway, let's talk floating.
Yeah. How was your float, man?
Me?
Yeah.
Good.
Wow. It's really good. Is it any like different from like the previous floats?
How many floats have you done, Jade?
6 this was, I think.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, so that was my 6.
Pretty sweet.
6. So how was it this time?
But, that was my best one.
This one today?
Yeah.
Huh. Push the button on the lav mic. See if I can get that working.
There. Is it working?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now we're good. Now we can hear you.
Okay. Today was my best float, mainly. Like, ever out of my 1 through 6 floats, this was, like, the, 15%. The one of the... I'm just kidding. I was gonna get all nasty.
Oh, we got another person photo bombing, or video bombing us. This is super funny.
Isn't it funny?
I can't even tell you. She's got to at least come in the scene.
Oh.
I'm waiting for somebody to
Outstanding.
Honey totally told her to come.
Well, we're going to find out right now.
No.
Oh, you're getting called.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm gonna have to go out there with the mobile cam and
Do it.
oh yeah. No, that's super funny. Where are you guys all going?
I have to go check the fact for my phone.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Mitch.
So it's just Mitch and Max because we got a lot of our guests got drawn outside just for a second here.
No problem.
All right, you guys have a conversation.
Yes. What?
We're actually gonna say something. Everyone's
You didn't
wow, this is
upload today,
exciting.
did
We
you?
got a whole bunch of people here at Flowlight.
I wasn't able to. Well, I think. Well, John, I'll talk about kind of how floating's helped me personally.
Yeah, sure, that's great, perfect.
So, I mean, because I've been working as an actor, it's more of a creative field, definitely. And I think one of the biggest inhibitors, not just acting, but any like creative field, can often feel at times like anxiety. I think that's sort of been
kind of a theme across any job, any space, any.
Yeah, it's. I think it's one of the most relatable things is just anxiety, and I think sort of what like I mean everybody has a different definition, but I think for me like kind of the way it feels when you feel anxiety, it's sort of like you know how some people exercise with like weights on them, like you put like a 100-pound vest or something like that, and then you take it off, and then you just feel so much better. You know,
yeah, there's something I need to bring next time you're writing. Yeah.
It's kind of what anxiety is like. It's kind of like having this weight on your mind.
It's like pulling you down.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the antithesis of creativity. Like I don't think you can be anxious and creative at the same time. So one of the things like I felt like from floating was it sort of feels like that weight's being taken off, where you're able to sort of think clear, I think, without all that sort of like stress, about that sort of weight on you. So I think it just opens up different realms of imagination and just being able to create more in the moment without being worried about anything.
Let's you use what you already have that's being shut off during the day.
Yeah.
Do different things because it's I do this or this or this is due by this time. Kind of like writer's block is anxiety.
Yeah.
Getting the better of you.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody has exactly what they need to do what they're trying to do, but oftentimes it feels like you can't do it because it's just either the pressure or whatever it is afflicting you.
You just wanted to book an appointment?
No, she was outside, so she was photographing.
Okay, we gotta get at least one picture
Some
of her.
guys, I don't know if he's.
She's live. Look, you actually came in.
Oh wow, photobombing live.
You've never floated?
So it's just sort of. Wait, try.
Oh. Is Penny still out there? Oh, I wanted to capture Penny on this thing. That's alright.
No, totally understand. It was on her. Yeah.
Okay.
We're on the mobile cam. Don't worry about it. We'll go back to couch overlay.
I have our 2 fast facts for that.
Oh yes, please enlighten us.
So, okay. So the first one is the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
Okay.
Okay.
Good one.
And then the second one is the directors of the film Despicable Me actually wrote their own language for the minions. Like
Wow.
they talk like beep, bop, bop,
Yeah. So that means it's all like written.
Yeah.
It's not just like
Like
random
hello would
sound.
actually have like a meaning in that
Yeah.
movie.
That's kind of.
It's like a mixture of like
It's kinda wild.
Italian and Spanish. Or French and Spanish.
Wait a minute. What are we talking
That's like Italian.
I
Keep
gotta
us a
share
couple
facts.
Oh. Are they interesting?
Yeah, no,
They were really good.
Oh, good. Well, that's fantastic. We like interesting flags. Oh, Lee.
Like,
Very funny. All right, I know that was chaos, guys, but now we're back. Let's get back to the regular discussion. I don't think we're going to be.
welcome back.
You know, who knows? Maybe we'll have somebody photobomb us, like Steve. Maybe we'll have Elizabeth, Liz.
Maybe it's keep talking.
You know, maybe Anthony. No, never mind. Fine. So okay. Have we kind of like let's touch on.
Can we finish our discussion?
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
go ahead,
talked
sorry.
over? Thanks.
That's meant for
What
you.
is interesting? I forget now. I'm forgetting the name. Because again, right? Anxiety.
Yeah.
But the people who make sound effects for films,
Okay.
that has to be like. Not to say that actors don't have interesting jobs, or the film crew and lighting people or sound people don't have interesting jobs, but that has to be probably, I guess, in a creative aspect, the more interesting, because you are given a film, a scene, something, and you have to try to do that.
I don't think they know.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen the movie Claudio the Trans Meatballs, at least heard of it?
Yeah.
Right. How
Oh,
do you make? What is the sound of a giant hump of spaghetti flopping on a deck? Yes, but how do you?
How do you like?
How do you do that? Because I can't. Like, if I want rain, I could go find a place that's raining. If I want birds, I can find bird sounds.
Yeah.
But how do you make these sounds, right?
Like wet noodles.
I mean, you could probably just drop the spaghetti ball on the floor and just amplify
But that's the ball, not the noodles.
Oh, you just-
How do the noodles make the noise? Is what you're saying?
Yes. What? Because they don't actually
Yeah, they
drop
don't.
noodles.
Right.
They try to get
They
close
go out
to
and
what
try to find the.
the sound is.
Yeah.
So I believe what it was is they had these like the really
Yeah.
soft mops,
Yeah.
and they were just like on a wooden dock.
Yeah.
And that's how they made spaghetti falling on a dock. And you kind of come up with that noise, whether it's recording and you want a sword fight, right? So to get that cling that you hear in wars, it's probably a couple of sound guys just like fighting each other with swords, or they go to the stunt guys and like, hey, metal sword, just to get that right sound, that right pang.
Yeah.
So Chris Rogue says that Max looks like John Lennon.
One of the films I did, I actually played John Lennon.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
It was for a short film. It's probably one of my favorite pieces, just because it got into a few film festivals.
Oh yeah.
But it was about John Lennon and Elvis Presley essentially meeting. And I knew very little about John Lennon before I auditioned. But the director just thought I looked like him. Well, I had long hair back then, so he's like, just get a haircut. And I just practiced the accent for a while, and then it worked. I put on the glasses, and it was that.
That's
You,
awesome.
I could see you like John Lennon next to each other with like the same glasses. Now all you'd have to have with you on the set is Yoko Ono.
That would be
That'd
that'd be cool to do a full feature.
I love that Jake knows that.
That is
I
pretty
used to
good.
be obsessed with the Beatles. I
Really?
love
Oh yeah, the Beatles are awesome, man. Seriously.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it took me a long time to shake that accent, and I still wear turtlenecks, just because I think they're so cool.
Sure, but that speaks a little bit too, like how as an actor you have to find ways that work for you to become the character.
Right.
I mean, whether it's a real person or a fictitious person, you know, like I guess it's easier or harder for fictitious people because, depending on you look at it, because like a real person, okay, you have more material to study from, more material to listen
absolutely.
to, where you have someone who's just a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and you're trying to bring them to life. You know, what is that? What does that mean? How do you create that character? Like, what is it to you? And a lot of times, too, like, you know, it's not what the script says. It's not just the script. It's the actor's interpretation of the character as well. So it's not just like reading a book and imagining the character and that, but then it's also too someone else actually then adding their own stuff to make what you see.
Oh, absolutely. I think like a biographical film, I think that's like an actor's dream. You know, that's why they're so popular kind of nowadays. I mean, last year they had the Winston Churchill film, they had the Stephen Hawking film, and so on and so on. Just because, like you said, like there's just so much more material on a real person that you can, like for John Lennon, like I just watched a ton of his interviews, and just sort of like picked up his habits and the way he moved, and I was able to couldn't replicate that. Whereas like a fictional person, you sort of have to imagine what it was like being in that environment, and then adapting what you know into that. So it's always something. It's something special too to be able to do that.
I definitely know what you're saying, like how like you like try to be that, like not try to be them, but like try to like do your best acting.
Yeah.
And like the one thing that I knew like everything about the Beatles, like I loved them, I was obsessed.
That's cool.
And anyways, I thought like the one thing that stuck in my mind about John Lennon is like I was watching this interview and how he took, it's really weird, but how he put on his shirt. He put it on like really weird.
Yeah. I haven't seen that interview, but
You did?
No, I haven't.
He was
I should
just
try
in
to
a
find
car and he did it like so weird. It like looked like an alien. That's like the one thing that sticks in my mind.
it.
It's weird.
Hi, Dad.
And that's the thing too. I think I think for a lot of actors is that they're always very observant in like how people like sort of like mannerisms and like weird things that people do.
Oops.
And then they'll just like take that and adapt it to the role.
That's for sure.
Yeah, you need to take care of your phone, please.
Oh.
It might be paused. So.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
that.
interesting too. Like,
That's what we want. We want to do
So,
a software
I was-
update right now. Nope.
so I was actually having an interesting discussion with, it actually came out from another film student, but have you all seen the first Transformers movie?
Yeah, the old one with like Shia LaBeouf
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
Fox. Yeah.
So, who would you argue of the two main characters, like not any of the two human characters?
Like the
Who
boy
would
and
you-
the girl.
Yeah.
Shia and Megan.
Who would you say was the actual one that had the better character development? And I'm asking this for a reason.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen the first one.
I know it's been a really long time. I would say, like, I couldn't describe it, but I remember the girl. Like how she fit in certain parts of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
impacted like her development, and kind of like, I can't like explain it, but like you get what I'm saying, kind of.
Yes, actually, that is exactly where I'm going to.
Okay.
A lot of people see that movie and they see what the camera tells them to see.
Jaden is a genius.
He's a smart guy. Yeah.
He's more insightful than most people, which is good. The camera tells you to see. So, like, there's one scene, right? He gets the Bumblebee breaks down, right? And it's girl cleavage showing, hanging down. The camera focuses using what's called male gaze. But as far as like writing is concerned, as far as character development and story, she is the one who does it, right? She has this, like, you have Shia LaBeouf's character who is this kid who's just trying to hawk his grandfather's stuff, and stuff happens to him, and oh look, it's actually this really big deal, and just like he's kind of just, you know, this flat canvas for people to project on. Where here you have a girl who is attractive, but also knows how to work on cars. But the stereotype given to women is that, well, women can't work on cars. And if they do, why would an attractive lady want to even bother to work on cars?
Because the guys will think they'll make her like
Yeah, you got it.
yeah, like they'll make her unattractive, like I guess. 'Cause
Right?
she's like,
Which is contradictory to what you would think, because, in fact, wouldn't someone who you could talk about and work on cars together with, if you're someone who also likes cars, wouldn't that, what's wrong with that? You have someone who is attractive and can talk about the same things you do, and it's not weird. So it's really interesting how film...
Isn't that kind of like a thing where, like, it's like kind of like the sexist thing? Like, no, like, that's like a man's job.
yeah.
Cooking is a woman's job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's totally like how it could have been like
But
foreseen.
again, yeah,
but
and-
that's why some men are like as open as to, oh hey, like that's really cool, we have something in common, as they're like, you're now equal to me or superior to
Yeah.
me.
But again, it's the way that the camera was shot.
Correct.
How they choose to shoot the scenes.
Right.
So that they could have kept the same story and kept most of the same camera angles, but now, choose to show her in a different light, then that would have changed how the film is perceived.
Right.
I
And
wonder
just-
how this film is perceived.
That
Just
was
kidding.
all.
it's
Sorry.
that's the
I just had to jump in there for a second.
depends if the camera's actually staying put or you're picking it up.
What?
It's
Oh,
perceived
like
differently.
that one time I dropped the camera?
Well, it's also
Yeah.
perspective.
That was funny. I loved it.
When you carry the camera around, you're giving a different perspective. Where
Yeah.
the camera's stock, it's a forced perspective. That's what I mean. If you want to take it some other way, I can't do much about that.
I didn't take it anyway. I have to run this entire rig here. You see? Oh my gosh! I keep cutting to a still frame. Sorry, guys.
But so it's interesting like that. So, and I've been finding it interesting too that as more and more people come floating, as you hear them talk, it breaks the stereotypes, right? I think I came here a couple days ago and there was like this truck parked out front, like not pickup truck, but like semi, like trucker. And one, right? You have, if you just think about it for a sec, what comes to mind when you think of trucker, right?
Yeah,
and then
sure.
the person who actually got in the truck was not what I assumed. But then two, right, is if you take the stereotype one step further, why would a trucker even bother to come here? Like, that is so far from what they would be.
Yeah. From the stereotype, it's more closed-minded.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe that trucker's too soft. And now they're gonna, get made fun of or something.
Yeah, it'd be like ashamed or something. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like, it doesn't matter. You can be Mr. Tough Dude. You can be Mr. Teddy Bear. It doesn't matter.
It is true. It's a very philosophical conversation about acting and just the dynamics of character development and other things in film. I think it's fascinating how we can tie everything to floating somehow.
True.
I mean, this isn't really necessarily about floating, but in my opinion, it is. No, I'm just kidding, guys.
Circle
No.
of life, it all comes back.
Oh, seriously? No, it's cool.
But, it's something like that, too, because when you float, like, you're going back to the
Thank you.
hearing
Penny.
yourself in your
You
mind
definitely deserve
and
a float.
getting rid of
We love you,
the
Papa.
anxiety.
Yeah.
There was a discussion piece that I had about anxiety going to talk in front of a stage or performance, right? Or even like you're acting in front of a camera. Like when you're doing the acting, you are, yes, I see you, but you're not being you. The Max that is up there performing this character is not the Max that is seen when the camera's off.
Right.
And you're back at home doing whatever. But when you're talking, if you think of yourself as a actor, like, yes, you are playing you making this talk.
Yeah.
That it's a way to start removing that. But going back to floating again, it's that how by being able to shut that anxiety off and get to that creative source, you're also then too that you can find your character.
Mhm.
the character of you.
Yeah, I think that's a big part too. Is when it strips everything away, you get to kind of see like who you are. And I think a lot of people have the idea that you always hear that you need to create something, like either like a professionally or something like that. But I think the biggest creation anybody can do is sort of their own character. And I think people don't think that they have a choice in like who they are. But I think that's one of the things that you really have more power over than anything. Is like you get to kind of choose what you want to be, not just what you do, but like who you are.
You might get told what to do, or you have to do this assignment, or you need to go here and lift these things. But at the end of the day, when you're alone with yourself, whether it's just in your room, in the shower, in a float tank, like that's when you get to really decide who you are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what any of those other people think or want. They may mean well. They may just be your boss, and they're just like, I gotta listen to it, but it doesn't matter. And it all leads then back to finding your voice. And finding your character, finding your voice, finding out who you are, which is something that is hard to do or people are afraid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just sort of like expressing who you are in the moment. I think you don't even need to be an actor to act. I mean, I think put one person in different environments, they're going to be sort of a little different. Like I'm sure you're different, like at work compared to how you are with like your family, compared to how you are with your friends. You probably act a little different. So it's all sort of. I think it's big, like environmental based. So I mean, you might be really outgoing one place, but really more quiet somewhere else.
I feel like I'm an actor.
You are, yeah.
You are very animated and
I feel like
expressive.
he's a director. He's like all behind like.
He is. He's a very good director.
Well, thank you, Max.
Kind
Means
of
a lot.
Well, you directed the whole flow light business here, and sort of the direction that you had envisioned.
On my Facebook page, I am the. I think I put I'm the arbiter of the void or something like that. Or I've come from the deep darkness of the void.
Oh wow!
For Floatlight, that's really what I did.
That void must have had a lot of glitter and
glitter. So when I
You
was
don't
younger,
come
I
from
used
the
to wear
void.
these. I used to wear these shirts that had these rhinestones on them. And
true. You
people
don't
made fun
come
of me
from
for
the
that.
void
Avoid most.
having the energy you do.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
You might have spent time there, but you don't come from the void having that. The void
Develop
generates a very
character.
particular person.
One of my favorite parts about the Floating Night Live now has become when I do the outro. Because I love doing all this. Have you guys seen the outro yet?
Oh no, I don't think I have.
Well, you will tonight.
Oh, it's very exciting.
It's cool. Like I almost feel like I should get the outro, but I just love the way the camera pans around and plays the music. Anyway,
The camera plays the music? I thought you played it.
well, I don't play it. Technically, the computer
You just
plays
said the
it.
Back
camera
of the
plays the music.
Keyboard.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
We were kind of talking earlier about how trying to be able to get into character and be able to feel like other people's feelings per se.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that I say that because I'm very empathetic. So like I feel everything, and it's hard to like shut that off sometimes too. Another person that wasn't she the one who just walked by?
Well, they
aww.
they were
Was she
looking pretty
not?
hardcore at what's going on here.
Yeah, they gotta come back now.
Watch her come inside again.
Well, apparently nobody. Do you guys understand? If you come to Floatlight right now,
You just get a free float.
you just get a full look.
It should be.
If I can capture you on mobile cam, you get a float. I mean, I'll just go out there. You guys keep talking.
There you
I'll be right back.
Good luck, John.
I'm on a mission. I don't know if I'm gonna lose the feed though. That's the problem.
Yes, you will.
Maybe for a
For
little
a
bit.
second you will, but when you get back around in the front, you won't.
We'll find out.
So as you're saying, so
Well, look at
sometimes
that.
being empathetic, like I feel like everybody's feelings, so it's very easy for me to tune into that.
Yeah, and That's
and
something.
it's a good thing, but it's kind of a bad thing too because like I like feel
Well,
everything. Like
Somebody's
even
feeling
like
down, you feel it.
like
you can feel
even
it.
like watching like TV. Like, have you ever seen 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah, I love 13. Oh, it's a great series.
I
yeah.
love the series, but I like some people like they can go through it in like 2 days and they're fine. Like
That's an emotional. Yeah,
it takes me like months to go through it because I feel and hurt the way they hurt because I know exactly what they're feeling.
Yeah.
Because I can empathize with that.
Yeah.
And it messes with me. You know, the last episode of the first season messed with me so much that I ended up actually becoming depressed.
What was it?
And
13
Reasons Why.
Oh, I've only watched the first season. I had to stop watching it.
It's tough. The second
It's
season.
hard.
It is.
And it's like the second season isn't as bad.
The last
I haven't
episode was
finished
still like,
it.
oh really?
I haven't finished it.
It's
But,
pretty gruesome. So.
Yeah, even the last episode, you know, I've heard many things about it, and you know, it's still hard, and feel like I'm dreading it because like I can relate to a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
So I kind of know what they're feeling, and it's like I want to help them and make them feel better, but I can't because it's a TV show.
Yeah. No, that's why they're great actors. The fact that they can elicit that sort of
Exactly.
emotion.
And I mean, I have no idea if they'll do another season or not. I mean,
they're filming a third season.
it doesn't really surprise me. And everybody's like kind of mad about it because they're like, oh, well, in the books, is that based off of a book?
The first season was. The second
Yes.
season was
Netflix.
Yeah, it was just written
Right.
off like a continuation. Yeah.
Right. So I'm curious to see where it's definitely gonna go. I mean, I hope that they actually.
But you haven't seen the finale of the second
I
season.
haven't.
They do leave a lot of like cliffhangers. So
Yes. And somebody had posted about at this point, if you can't handle it, you probably shouldn't watch it because it's really bad. So I had just like.
Okay, what show are we talking about?
13
13
Reasons Why.
Reasons Why.
I definitely like can relate to you when you say that because like I've seen movies before where they're like funny movies, but then they have like the worst ending, like
Oh
Yeah.
worst ending. But like I feel so bad, like I kind of just want to go punch the character in the face. That like
Have you seen Deadpool 2?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, like that movie, like I like bawl my eyes out during
It's
that
so
movie.
funny though.
That's cool,
Yeah,
too.
but like if you like, they did such a great job with that movie because like they really captured the whole other side of it though too. I mean, granted, he has the funny, charming, great side.
Oh, like
But then there's this whole other side of him of, you know, being sad about, you know,
His
his
girlfriend
dying and wanting to talk to her and see her, but he can't.
Yeah.
And, like, I can relate to that. So it's just, like, crazy to see those two different sides and being able to portray it in the correct way.
Yeah, for like Deadpool.
Outside.
Deadpool, you can see like how much pain he's going through, but his coping mechanism is just humor, and he just sort of tries to release some of that pain through comedy. You know?
And I know what that's like because I have a friend who's like that. He's like, yeah, I'm schizophrenic. And I was like, okay, that probably wouldn't surprise me with him. And that's very true. And I can refer to him and Deadpool a lot. And I tell him all the time, like, dude, I finally figured out you are like Deadpool. And he just laughs every single time. And he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but it's just kind of funny. It's just kind of
You got compliments, Megan.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
So, go ahead.
No, you can go.
No, you go.
Okay.
No, you
I have
go.
two
No,
quick
I'm not in a
ones.
battle here. Come
Just
on.
make it quick.
Go.
Okay, mine's gonna be long, but okay. And something else in Deadpool in the beginning where he starts talking about the Logan, like him dying. He's gonna be like, in the end of this movie, I'm gonna die, because he wants to be superior. But something Mitch said a couple minutes ago about being on stage and having anxiety, I can relate to me and him back in 5th grade, the talent show.
Oh, you guys did a talent show?
Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
We dressed up as Star Wars character Darth Vader, and I was Luke Skywalker. And you remember those like hoverboards where you could like step
Yeah,
on
those
them?
are real cool.
We both had one of those, and we were riding them at each other. And I was so nervous, like I felt like one of
You had a lightsaber duel?
He just like at like the last 5 minutes, it's like, okay, this is gonna be our script.
Basically just us waving a plastic lightsaber around, hitting each other.
Yeah.
That's a good script.
I was like, I barely remembered what he did, but I figured it out. But I was like so nervous that one was going to fall off or something, and so I finally defeated him, and he fell off his Segway, but like on purpose, like because he's gonna pretend he's dead. And I was like, great, it's all over. Nothing bad could happen. So I grabbed him. He had a helmet on, and I started dragging him, and I kicked him in the helmet like my foot. Everyone just starts laughing at us.
It went well.
Yeah.
If it was a voting system, we would have won.
Yeah.
That's a good story. I actually like it. See, there you go, future actors.
You guys are great.
What?
Chris has a point. So we were talking about your float. You were starting to talk about it, but you didn't go into any depth about it. I really want you to speak about it because I think that is really cool. Because you had told people who were sitting out here earlier before we had gone live.
Okay.
Mama me. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. This must be an acting scene.
Yeah, please.
You know?
That's good.
All right, tell us about your float, Jaden.
So this was the best of my float, but the worst of my float. Like it was like for sure the best one, but it's like just different from like seriously every single one. Like tonight was my 6th float, and it was just really different. I know I keep saying that. It was different because like when I was in the tank this time, like when I first get in the tank, I'm like sitting in there like just like my eyes open, I'm just laying there.
Yeah.
But this time I finally just said to myself, just keep laying there, just keep doing it. And I finally got to like a state of mind where I was just like there.
But you weren't.
No, keep going. You're good.
I was in like the state of mind where I was just like relax, like, and I pictured like I was looking into this flag, and I could see like I was looking into the sky, and I gotta figure out how to explain this in the best way.
You're good.
That actually means that you must have had one very good float.
Kind of.
Often,
Yeah.
it's difficult to explain my best floats to you. It's kind of... Well, I got a chance to float this morning, actually.
Oh, cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I floated. I loved it. Oh, my God.
So as Jaden was saying, so he and I were talking before this, and he was like, I was asking him how his flow was, and he's like, you know what, Megan? He's like, I finally got to a point of how I always talk to my grandma. And he was saying, he's like, I was able to talk to my great grandma. And we didn't get to touch base on what he had talked about, but he said that he was just talking aloud to her, and they were just kind of just hanging out and just kind of relaxing.
Like,
So was there anything specifically you guys talked about, or you talked to her about?
She wasn't like, I put myself in a state of mind where I felt that I was talking to her. I didn't see her or anything.
Yeah.
But I just told her that I felt that she was telling me that she loved me and stuff, and that everything was gonna be good.
So that was something that you probably needed to hear about too.
Yeah.
Which I can relate to that. So that's pretty cool.
We had a guest this evening that came in who just recently lost her mother. Just today, actually. And I'm not even kidding. And she booked an appointment to float. And, she definitely needed to float. There was no better person to nominate for a float. And I think that sometimes goes back to the whole, fact of floating. Like, it really does help to kind of set your mind a little bit at ease. It doesn't mean you'll forget about memories or that you'll forget the things that may be causing you pain, but sometimes we just need a moment to be able to clear out the anxiety of living life in a normal setting and just be able to focus on those things that might be needing to be able to be run through. It's kind of like just kind of reflecting upon oneself.
Interesting. It's definitely.
And that's really true though too, because even for me, like, I always say that I was healed in a way that I didn't know I needed, and being able to, granted I'm a unique floater, but even to be able to reflect back on that and for it to be able to heal me was immaculate. There's no words that I can put towards it to how I feel about it.
Yeah, everybody needs to find like that a way to release. kind of all of the stress
outlet.
and like kind of pain of life. Otherwise, it just weighs you down. I think that's one thing floating does really well is it just sort of lifts all that from you. Because otherwise, you know, you'll just suffer. You know.
Yeah. So go ahead. Was it Mitch?
I have to use the bathroom quick. I'm gonna set my lab
That's
there,
okay.
so
Okay.
it doesn't pick up me.
Lavalier.
Lavalier, yeah.
That's what Josh Russell
Yep,
said.
that's it, right.
He's right though. So Josh has been helping out with a little bit of support for you, right, Mitch? I've seen a little bit because we started that conversation. It's been helpful. Josh is awesome. Shout out to Josh Russell. Anyway, so the name of the post today was some of the top 5 ways to prepare for your first float.
I'm going for the clickbait again.
What?
Clickbait.
It's not clickbait.
Yes, it is.
You can't even say that's not, John. You know it is.
You gotta.
Marketing man is trying to deny the top 5 X is the clickbait.
Yeah, but seriously, we're trying to give some information. I don't know what to think of today, so we need top 5 things how you can prepare for your first float. Maybe I should have just said, what are some of the top ways to prepare for your first float?
There is no way to prepare for a float, though.
You
Especially
prepare
your
for
first
float by
float.
floating. You really, there is. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
the truth is
give
float
yourself
light
time for the
prepares you for
orientation,
your
but
first float, so you're you're good on that front. No, but seriously, no, there are some things. Come on, you guys.
right, he is a director.
He's right.
I was gonna argue the point against that. I mean, like, yeah, you're right about the floating thing, but like not here. But then no, he is.
It's the role he's meant to play.
It's the role I'm meant to play.
I mean, I think the big thing is just
Wait, we got a float.
oh.
Oh.
And I can't.
Oh.
They don't want to come
No,
over.
they're coming.
I know I don't want
Wow.
to
Float?
Here, look.
Do you want a free float?
Look at these people. They're gonna,
No, she doesn't.
They don't want to float? You don't want to float?
Do you want
Why?
a free float?
They prefer.
You're running away!
They prefer.
Didn't want to float.
I kind of realize like how strange it must be to walk past float light right now. So maybe we should just let people naturally come.
Yes, you should.
We're
Yeah.
kind of just like hawking them outside the window, like, oh my gosh, run away! You don't want to be seen on camera. Okay, no, seriously, we're just having fun here at float light. What can we say?
I
Anyway.
kind of feel like, you know, the one. Have you seen Airplane?
Oh, I love that movie.
Right? You know, where they're like flowers for this. They're the different religious sects. I kind of feel like John is one of those religious sects.
What?
You're one of the people standing out there. Just let them come to you. If they want to donate or if they want the free float, they will make sure that they will be seen.
Are you talking
We've
about?
already proved it.
Are you talking about the airplane movie with O.J. Simpson?
No, you're not O.J. Simpson. You're thinking of Samuel L. Jackson.
Also, no.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're
O.J. Simpson's in one of those too.
Oh, was
It's
he
Yes,
really?
but
I thought
that's
you
the
were
Naked
thinking
Gun.
Snakes on a
Yeah,
Plane.
yeah.
He's in the Naked Gun series, but
Oh, okay, never mind then. This is craziness.
either way, you know, and
John's voice is like the Wizard of Oz tonight. What?
I hope.
I don't get it. Why?
see what he
Flattering.
gives what John gives us is much better than the gifts the wizard gives,
Yeah.
because
Thank you.
you necessarily don't always. Yeah, you always had law inside of you, but you don't make it superficial. You try to make sure people see that. So only a wizard in the sense of you are behind the curtain, and we are going to discover that very soon, that you are actually some weird floating head that you're just, well, at least until you go grab the green screen, but that's a different story.
I'm just a man behind a green screen acting like a wizard. You know, I'm very different when I'm in front of camera on Floating Live than I'm
No, you're
with
not.
the guests.
Oh, when you're a guest, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not that I'm just a lot more quiet. I mean, I'm being pretty loud.
I don't know. We'll have to ask your mom
Oh,
about
it's
that.
echoed. Okay, I think I know why. It's because that microphone's picking me up from over there.
Yep, because you're being too loud.
Oh my gosh. You're not very nice, buddy.
I'm stating a fact. If you don't like that I am telling the truth, I cannot help
The
that.
truth hurts. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it really?
Yes, it does.
I'm trying to test the mic. Right? I can't hear my. I guess I am a wizard. What am I gonna do? The wizard in that movie wasn't very important. Anthony, come on.
It's just a plot point.
Jeez. He's on IMDb looking up all the philosophical things about Bill.
He watches a lot of movies.
Well, I can tell.
But getting back to our main
Just look at his shirts.
Yeah, let's bring it around back.
Frank.
Yeah.
But you know,
What are we bringing it around back to? Apparently the clickbait thing, right?
No, the five ways
to the point
Yeah,
of
5
that,
reasons why we float.
just like clickbait, that title is misleading because there is no way to really prepare yourself for a float.
Will leads into we will prepare you.
Yes.
But can you really?
No, it's can you
can't
prepare for your
mentally-
first float?
No.
The best way to prepare is to not prepare because you don't want to have any expectations.
Possibility actors.
Hey, I'm gonna director's disappearing.
I mean, one of the things you could do, I suppose, because floating calms you, is just to make sure you don't have any like caffeine or anything that would overstimulate you before you do it. It's just extra work to try to calm you down.
I'm getting a call. Sorry.
Yeah. Very important, man.
Take 4.
Take.
Take 5.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay, can go.
Okay.
No, it's not that
Yeah,
good.
take guys, can go.
Oh, yeah.
Jaden
what
just
about
left
your
and
power?
everything got all weird.
I already got weird beforehand, but you know, yeah, there's physical things you can do, but again, that's the shallow, misleading clickbait thing. Like, yes, they're good things, you know, but it's not going to be like, you know, if I'm going to run a marathon, obviously, hey, what you can do before you run a marathon? How about train yourself? Don't just go running. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not that sort of, you know, gratification thing that's going to happen. You're going to get what you float no matter what, and you'll be able to get the experience, but you can't just prepare yourself to be open to the experience.
Yeah.
Because by preparing yourself to be open to the experience, you actually are not being open to the experience.
Yeah. You're gonna miss the point. Are we saying goodbye?
Yeah, like Chris is saying, lose all inhibitions.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Hudson, how are you feeling?
I'll see you next week.
How are you feeling? You just want to see?
So we had Hudson on last stream. So let's.
Lane water.
We need to
Don't
balance
forget your
out.
sweater.
Did you forget a sweater?
Yeah.
Balance out the set a little bit. Mitch is gonna go make a recon drive. Why don't we have Max on this side?
Oh, should have bounced it.
Bye, friend.
Oh, farewell, thanks.
Farewell. You're moving 5 feet.
Keep the couch to myself.
Yes. Okay. And then Mitch will come back, and we're good to go. Okay, so guys, if anyone's still on this stream, can you at least hit the thumbs up or the heart button or something?
Oh, yeah.
Usually we have what's his name on the stream?
Dan the man.
Dan Man. Yeah,
He's
he
not
must.
here.
I think he's on vacation.
He shouldn't do that.
No, it's okay.
He should be live streaming on vacation.
It's a vacation here.
Actually, it's very true. I have a lot of people that tell me that it's like a vacation at Float Lake.
But I mean, it's like a spa treatment in a way. You know, like people go get a massage or they do different things to just feel better, alleviate some of what you're going through. So I mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like vacation.
I gotta remember, Penny gets a float, and Megan, you already booked the.
Yes.
You just booked her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gave it to her and everything.
And then she said, "Oh, I just want to book that right away."
Well, she's like, well, how do I book? And I was like, well, I can book you right now. She's like, okay.
Oh, cool. That's
She's
awesome.
coming in Monday.
We can't argue with that.
Nope. We all deserve it.
I mean, we are using the same mics, but they are different locations.
Well, tell us your opinion. Does
Do
the
you really want that?
Yes, I want to know. Does it sound better? We're trying to fix the whole sound situation. I thought maybe
Yeah, please tell him your opinion because he doesn't want to listen to someone who knows sound engineering. So
First, let her say your opinion before
I
you
wasn't
interject
saying-
your opinion and
I
try
was
to
not saying my
influence the
opinion.
masses.
I was not saying my opinion.
This guy's a really good politician.
I was saying, yes, and so are you because you keep interrupting me.
Oh,
I was saying,
this isn't a war against Macs and PCs again,
I
is
have
it?
been trying to explain things to you, so I'm asking the people to give their opinion because apparently my voice does not matter enough when I'm sitting here. It's the people who are listening that will matter. I'm not giving my opinion.
See, the problem is I can't even tell if there is an echo or not an echo. So I'll just wait. Does it sound better now? Maybe I have my microphone turned up too loud. Problem is even if I put these headphones on,
You can still hear yourself talking.
it sounds fine to me. Hello? Yeah. Okay, there is an echo in here. I must admit. It's got to be a problem with this microphone. Let me see.
Did you shut the lavalier off?
Yeah.
Is it muted in the software?
Yes. Hello. Hello, friends. Now.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, I know why there's an echo. Wait, maybe not.
So take your mic, turn it down a little bit, and if there's still an echo, then it's the other mic.
I'm pretty sure
Take your,
that I don't know what I'm doing.
so listen to what I'm saying. We'll get through this process of elimination.
I don't know if I can do it. I'm kind of nervous.
Luckily, we have faith in you, and we know you can do it.
I sound like a wizard still. Oh man, I don't even know what's going on. Wait, let me try this. Hold on. Do I sound like a wizard? If I turned your microphone down on the table, I don't sound like a wizard. As soon as I might as well just turn this one off. There. Can you guys still hear me? I'm just turning it completely down. There. Yeah. So apparently I can be heard on that microphone across the entire room.
Well, that's why.
Like I just avoid the delay of the speed of sound.
No, that's why.
Yeah. I'm getting like.
Yeah, because you're not using the mixer board like you used to do. You're using two different boards.
Yes, I am.
So I didn't even need to bring that. Thank you for making me carry around more stuff than I needed to.
Oh.
I appreciate it.
Mitch, it's because I already had it hooked
Yes,
up.
Penny.
I wasn't even sure. Okay. I think I know what I gotta do.
Yes, Penny. She booked for next week.
Does Penny know who that is?
No, they just met in the parking lot.
They just met in the parking lot. A float line?
Yes.
That's how you make friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Go do something.
Yes, well, actually, a great way to make friends is to stand in the float light parking lot.
No, just come in a float
It's
light.
also a good way to get hit.
Hang
It's a different
out.
story.
It's a good way to get hit.
She was really nice. Penny.
Don't do that. That's a really, really bad way of making friends there, you can't really,
Promoting loitering outside.
No, you can loiter outside the float light all you want. Just don't park in the guest spaces unless you have a legitimate reason to do so.
Don't vandalize anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're at 2 minutes until 1 hour.
So we got 2 minutes to wrap it up.
Yeah, so let's wrap it up. 2 minutes.
Right, director, wrap it up.
I'm not wrapping anything up.
So
Let's
our
protocol.
virtue on the whole 5 things to prepare yourself for floating was there wasn't any. So
Just, I guess you could just book and, just don't drink caffeine. That's what Max says.
yeah, just don't drink
man.
caffeine.
Don't go to a buffet, beforehand. Avoid getting a tattoo before floating.
Dyeing your hair.
Don't dye your hair, because we won't let you float then if you dye your hair immediately beforehand.
Yes, Chris, it is.
Avoid having surgery before floating or getting into a serious battle royale with your friend after drinking the night before. That would not be a good idea. Cuts and bruises in the float tank would hurt.
Hey, bruises don't hurt. They actually heal a lot faster.
Oh yeah, you can give hugs at Float Light. Hugs are free at Float Light. Come here. Don't even have to float. You want a hug? Free hugs for the world.
Yep.
So, with that, say goodbye, friends.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
And now
you
we're gonna-
again,
It's great
Max.
being here. Thank you so much.
We appreciate
Jonathan,
you
for allowing
being
me to be
here.
Well, you're very welcome. Now,
Great pleasure.
next week on the Floating Light Live, we have a very special guest. He's like super popular on Instagram. I actually just met him here at Floatlight, taking a picture in front of the wave wall. George Purdy. I know that a lot of people may or may not know him. I know that Jaden does. So actually, we're just going to let Jaden run the entire show next week. So that's going to be Jaden's show because I know nothing about George Purdy, but I think Jaden's going to do a great job. George, we're very excited to have you on Talent. We're excited to have you on. That'll be next week, same place. Here on Facebook, different time though. We're going to try to launch the live stream earlier starting next week, at least 8 o'clock, and then we're going to start phasing down to 7, more prime time slot. So hopefully that will give you all the opportunity to watch the show before having to stay up all night in an attempt to watch this or catch the rebroadcast. So with that said, we are out.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about George. Okay. He's trying to get, do you know Roy Purdy? So Roy is in my friends. He started out on Instagram. And so they're both
Really?
Probably to get down for couldn't go anywhere, and it was hard to get the setup. Basically